Good day everyone, my name is Scarlett and I am from Group 3. Pagkatapos nating malaman kung ano ba yung science and technology developments noong pre-Spanish and Spanish period, ngayon dadako naman tayo sa American period. Pero bago yan, ito yung ating mga objectives or yung tatlong bagay na kailangan nating matutunan at the end of this lesson. Unang-una dito ay dapat nating malaman kung ano ba yung mga major developments na nangyari sa Pilipinas noong American period in terms of science and technology. Pangalawa, kailangan nating malaman kung ano ba yung impluwensya ng mga Amerikano, kung paano nila in-introduce yung mga technologies at kung paano nito napadali ang pamumuhay ng mga Pilipino in terms of agriculture, health, and disaster preparedness. At ang pangatlo naman ay kailangan nating malaman kung ano ba yung naging long-term impact nito at kung paano yung mga inventions na nangyari noon or yung na-invento noon ay nagagamit pa rin ngayon in the modern life. And now, we can finally talk about the American period. But before that, paano ba ito nagsimula? So, noong 1898 ay nagsimulang magkaroon ng Spanish-American War. Pero eventually, natalo ang Spanish at nagwagi ang American. At dahil nga tayo ay Spanish colony, yung Pilipinas ay naging American colony na. When the United States defeated Spain in the Spanish-American War in 1898, the Philippines was ceded to the US through the Treaty of Paris. When we say Treaty of Paris, ito yung pagbebenta ng Spain ng Pilipinas sa US. So, binili tayo ng US mula sa Espanya sa nagkakahalagang $20 million. This marked the beginning of the American period in the country's history. In 1901, yung US nag-establish siya ng civil government under the Philippine Commission na nag-start sa bagong colonial administration that aimed to modernize the island. The American introduced the policy of benevolent assimilation, which meant they sought to civilize and develop the Philippines through science, education, and technology. While this policy was framed as a way to improve Filipino lives, it also serves as a means of control and governance. During this time, science and technology became powerful tools for both progress and administration. The Americans used them to improve public health systems, agriculture, and education, as well as to explore and exploit the country's natural resources. They established laboratories, research institutions, and weather bureaus to promote modernization. In short, the American period laid the groundwork for the scientific and technological advancement of the Philippines, though it was also close tied to the goals of colonial rule and economic control.
So during the American colonial period, agriculture remained the main source of livelihood in the Philippines, but underwent major changes in system and purpose. The Americans aimed to modernize farming and make it part of global trade. For simple, family-based rice farming agriculture became more commercialized with laws, institutions, and technologies introduced to reshape rural life. Now, under US rule, farming shifted toward export production. The Philippines began supplying crops like sugar, abaca, tobacco, and coconut to the world market, especially to the United States. Sugar export rose from around 200,000 tons in 1912 to over 1.5 million tons by the 1930s. Regions specialized in certain crops: sugar in Negros, abaca in Bicol, tobacco in Ilocos, and coconuts in southern Luzon and Visayas. However, many small farmers still grew rice and corn for local use. This created a dual system, one part export-oriented and the other sustenance-based. Now, the Americans introduced land reforms like the Torrens title system for legal land ownership and the Public Land Act of 1903, which allowed Filipinos to claim public lands. They also distributed friar lands previously owned by Spanish religious orders. While these reforms aimed to improve access to land, they mostly benefited wealthy families who could afford the legal processes. Many small farmers remained tenants, working in others' land and giving a portion of their harvest as rent. This widened inequality and set the stage for future agrarian conflicts. Now, the American period introduced modern agricultural science and technology to improve productivity. Tools and invention included flows made of steel instead of wood, irrigation systems, hand tractors, rice mills, and mechanical sugar cane crushers. Techniques also are introduced such as crop rotation, use of fertilizers, pest control, and selective breeding for stronger plant varieties. The Bureau of Agriculture and the UP College of Agriculture Los Baños were founded to promote agricultural education, demonstration farms, and rural schools train farmers in modern methods. While new infrastructure such as roads and bridges help distribute crops faster. Now, despite modernization, farm productivity did not increase much. Growth came mainly from expanding land area, not from higher yields. Forest areas were cleared for new farms, leading to environmental damage and displacement of some indigenous groups. Socially, rural poverty continued. Landlords and traders gained most of the profits, while small farmers stayed poor. This imbalance eventually inspired agrarian reform movements later in the 20th century. To conclude, farming during the American period was a time of both progress and inequality. The Philippines transitioned from subsistence to commercial agriculture with better infrastructure and education, but uneven benefits. The Americans introduced modern tools and systems, yet most farmers remained poor and landless. This period laid the foundation for the country's modern agriculture, productive but unequal, reminding us that progress in farming must always go hand in hand with fairness and opportunity. That's it. Thank you.
So now let's talk about the food preservation during American period. So, bago ko ipaliwanag kung paano ba yung naging pamamaraan ng mga Pilipino sa pagprepreserba ng pagkain dahil sa impluwensya ng mga Amerikano, i-mention ko muna kung ano ba yung naging pamamaraan nila nung unang wala pa yung mga Amerikano. So dati, ang traditional na pamamaraan na ginagamit ng mga Pilipino para sa food preservations, isa na dito yung drying, which is gaya ng paggawa ng toyo, daing, at dried mangoes. Salting, which is pag-aasin ay ginagamit para mapatagal ang pagkain, gaya ng isda. And smoking, which is para naman sa tinapa, karne, and fermentation para naman sa buro, atsara, or bagoong. At ito yung mga paraan ng mga Pilipino sa pag-preserve ng mga food dati. Pero nang dumating ang mga Amerikano, ipinakilala nila yung mga siyentipikong paraan ng pag-preserve ng mga pagkain. So dito nagsimulang magbago ang paraan ng pag-preserve ng mga pagkain ng mga Pilipino. So tulad ng canning. Ito yung paggawa ng mga canned goods tulad ng sardinas, karne, which is nilalagay sa lata para mas tumagal, hindi agad masira, and as well as mas madali siyang natatransport sa iba't ibang lugar. Another one is pasteurization. Ito naman yung proseso ng pagpapainit ng mga pagkain at inumin. Karaniwan dito yung gatas. So, ito napapatay yung mikrobyo, kaya naman mas matagal siyang nasisira. And also, the refrigeration and freezing. So, gumagamit ng ref o yelo para mapanatiling sariwa ang pagkain. So, ito yung mga natutunan ng mga Pilipino sa Amerikano sa pag-preserve ng pagkain, which is hanggang ngayon is nagagawa pa. And kasabay din nito, pinalakas ng mga Amerikano ang edukasyon sa agham at kalusugan. Tinuruan ang mga Pilipino ng Amerikano ng tamang kalinisan or hygiene at food safety. Kaya mas natuto ang mga Pilipino kung paano ba yung mas malinis or mas maayos na paraan ng pag-iimbak o paghahanda ng pagkain. So sa madaling salita, ang panahon ng mga Amerikano ay nagdala ng makabagong siyensa at teknolohiya sa bansa. So dahil dito, mas ligtas, mas malinis, at mas matagal nang napapanatili ang mga pagkain na naging malaking tulong naman sa ating kalusugan, agrikultura, at ekonomiya ng mga Pilipino.
Hello everyone! Today I'll be talking about how weather forecasting in the Philippines developed during American period from 1898 to 1941. To start, when the Americans took over the Philippines in 1898, they saw the need of understanding the country's weather and geography. So, they took over the Spanish-run weather service and turned it into the Philippines Weather Bureau or PWB in 1901. They brought in new weather instruments from the US, built more weather stations across the country, and started sending storm warnings not just around the Philippines but also to nearby countries like China and Japan. So some of the instruments that they bring are the aneroid barometers that measure atmospheric pressure without using liquid, making them more portable and durable. Another is the rain gauge, used to measure rainfall amount, wind vanes, devices that show wind direction, thermometer for measuring air temperature, and lastly, seismograph and magnetometers. Though not strictly for weather, these were added later to expand the Bureau's work into earthquakes and magnetic field monitoring. This instrument helped the Philippines Weather Bureau, or the PWB, improve from tracking climate studies and agricultural forecasting. But the PWB didn't just forecast the weather. They also did a lot of research. Jesuit scientists like Father Jose Algi and Father Jose Coronas wrote books and studies about the climate and typhoons in the Philippines. The Cyclone of the Far East and Atlas de Filipinas are some of the books that are published by the Father Jose Algi. On the other hand, Father Coronas even created a climate classification system based on temperature and rainfall. This system helped people understand the different weather patterns in various parts of the country, and it's still used today with some updates. In summary, the American period was a time of big changes for weather forecasting in the Philippines. The PWB modernized weather tools and stations, studied typhoons and climate, helped farmers with weather info, warned people about disaster, trained Filipino scientists, and thanks to this effort, the Philippines became more prepared for weather challenges, and many of these systems are still used today. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Economic control.
So now let's move on to the medicine during the American period in the Philippines. So when the Americans arrived on 1898, nagdala sila ng mga bagong sistema sa bansa, kasama na yung sa kalusugan. So dito, priority nila yung labanan na mga epidemics at ayusin yung sanitation sa atin. So dito rin nagsimula yung paggamit ng mga modern at scientific na paraan sa paggagamot sa Pilipinas. So during their time, tinayo nila yung Bureau of Health noong 1901 para makontrol yung mga sakit gaya ng cholera at malaria. So nagpatupad din sila ng kampanya para sa kalinisan, malinis na tubig at bakuna. So tinuruan din nila ang mga Pilipino tungkol sa hygiene para makaiwas tayo sa sakit. So bukod doon, nagtayo rin sila ng mga hospitals at mga medical schools sa atin. So nagtayo sila ng mga hospital tulad ng PGH noong 1907 at pinalawak ang San Lazaro Hospital. So dito rin tinatag yung UP College of Medicine noong 1905 para sanayin yung mga Pilipinong doktor. So bukod dito rin nagsimula yung modernong edukasyon sa medisina at nursing. So dito, nagkaroon din ng medical advances. So pinilitan ng mga Amerikano ang traditional na healing ng scientific medicine, yung mga albularyo kung tawagin natin. So dinala nila rito yung bakuna, laboratory testing, at modern surgery. So mas pinapalagahan na nila yung mga prevention than cure. So dahil dito, gumanda yung kalusugan ng mga Pilipino at bumaba rin ang bilang ng mga namamatay or yung death rate. So, dumami rin yung mga trained doctors at nurses sa bansa up until now. So, ito yung naging basis ng modern healthcare system na ginagamit pa rin hanggang ngayon sa kasalukuyan.
In conclusion, during the American period, science and technology transformed many aspects of life in the Philippines, from food preservation and medicine to farming and weather forecasting. The introduction of canning, pasteurization, and refrigeration improved food safety and storage, while modern hospitals, vaccines, and public health system strengthened healthcare and reduced diseases. In agriculture, new tools, education, and techniques boosted productivity, though land inequality persisted. Meanwhile, the establishment of the Philippine Weather Bureau modernized weather monitoring and disaster preparedness. Altogether, this advancement reflected the Americans' goal of modernization through science and education, laying the foundation for many systems that continue to benefit the country today.